Luxembourg is one of the smallest countries in Europe, so small that many people could point to larger cities on the map, but not find the country itself. And yet, despite its size, it is consistently ranked among the richest nations in the world, often ahead of countries with far larger populations, more land, and more resources. Which raises an obvious question: how can a tiny country become richer than everyone else? The first reason is location. Because Luxembourg sits in the middle of Western Europe, bordered by France, Germany, and Belgium, placing it near some of the most productive economies on Earth. That gives it access to trade, talent, and business activity without needing to build a huge domestic market of its own. But location alone doesn't create extreme wealth, so the next factor is specialization. Because Luxembourg focused heavily on finance, banking, and investment services, turning itself into a place where money from around the world is managed, moved, and invested. Instead of relying on agriculture, manufacturing, or natural resources, it built an economy around high-value services that generate large amounts of income with relatively few people. And that matters because Luxembourg has a small population, meaning that when national income is divided across fewer residents, the country's wealth per person appears exceptionally high. But there's another reason the numbers look so strong, because every day tens of thousands of workers commute into Luxembourg from neighboring countries like France, Belgium, and Germany. They help power the economy, work in offices, banks, and companies, and generate output inside Luxembourg. But many of them live outside the country, which boosts total production without adding as much to the resident population count. This creates a system where a very productive economy is measured against a relatively small number of residents. Luxembourg also developed a reputation for political stability, efficient institutions, and a business-friendly environment, which helped attract international firms, investment funds, and global financial activity over time. And once a place becomes known as a trusted center for wealth management, that reputation can reinforce itself, bringing in even more capital and business. But what makes Luxembourg especially interesting is that it shows how modern wealth doesn't always come from size, land, or raw resources. In today's economy, a country can become extremely rich by positioning itself in the right place, specializing in the right sectors, and building systems that attract global money. That's why Luxembourg, despite being tiny on the map, became richer than countries many times its size.